Hello, everyone. Great morning to you. Warm welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up in this edition, IMF officials expected in town this weekend for first review of Ghana's program. Also in this bulletin, Economist Intelligence Unit revises its projected depreciation of the cedi to the dollar in 2023 to about 23%, but the local currency will become the third weakest in Africa. And Energy Minister reiterates government commitment to achieve sustainable development goals of 90% access to electricity by 2024. These and more shortly. Always a pleasure to have you on. I am Pius Kojobaka. Let's now settle for the details. Government is set for its first review of the International Monetary Fund program from Monday. The officials from the fund are expected in town this weekend for this major assessment. But how ready is the country, and are we likely to pass this test? George Yafe has the rest of the story.
The exercise by the IMF is to track Ghana's performance when it comes to meeting those quantitative and qualitative targets under the program. Joy Business understands that the IMF will be using government fiscal data ending June this year to carry out this assessment. That is, has government been able to meet those targets when it comes to expenditure cuts, revenue mobilization, and the debt restructuring? On the monetary side, the Bank of Ghana has also told Joy Business that they've been able to meet those targets that would help the country pass this review. The IMF team is led by its mission chief, Stefan Rode, and they will be putting together their report and submit it to the IMF board after this exercise. If Ghana is successful with this review, the board will then approve some $600 million to be disbursed to Ghana, possibly by the end of November this year. Passing this review could also trigger additional financial support from the World Bank and other donor partners.
George, you are fair with that report. Now, the Economist Intelligence Unit has revised its projected depreciation of the cedi to the dollar in 2023 to about 23% from the earlier 30%. According to its 2023 updated African Outlook report, this will place the local currency as the third weakest in Africa this year.
According to the UK-based firm, the cedi will depreciate lower than the 44% recorded against the American greenback in 2023. Presently, the cedi has declined in value by a little above 22% to the world's most important currency. This means that between now and the end of the year, the depreciation of the local currency to the dollar will be very marginal. The EIU reiterated that most African currencies lost substantial value against the US dollar during 2022, and it expects exchange rate weakness to continue in 2023, albeit to a lesser degree. Sudan and Zimbabwe, which will be ranked first and second West African currencies, will be among the weakest in the world in 2023. Meanwhile, Zambia kwacha will become the best performing currency in Africa this year, with a slight appreciation against the dollar.
A Business Desk report. Let's check the performance of the cedi this morning. It is going for 11 cedis 55 pesos against the US dollar on the forex or retail market. It is still selling at 14 cedis 60 pesos to the pound and trading at 12 cedis 40 pesos to the euro. Away from that, Energy Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh has reiterated the government commitment to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals of 90% access to electricity by 2024. Speaking at the 24th World Petroleum Congress 2023 in Canada, he said the government will ensure a clean energy agenda going forward. According to him, the government is committed to ensuring more households use liquefied petroleum gas.
As we speak, 88.85% of the population have access to electricity. We want to get to our SDG goal of 90% by 2024 instead of 2030, which we have set to ourselves. 68% of our country has a form of modern method of cooking, where 37% is LPG, and we want to move LPG to 50%. 1% is electricity, and 27% is an improved gas cooking stoves for women.
Energy Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh speaking at the 24th World Petroleum Congress 2023 in Canada. Still on energy-related stories, Chairman of the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament, Samuel Atachian, has indicated that Ghana's oil and gas industry, if given the needed focus, could contribute significantly to the growth of the economy. According to him, if the gains made from the industry is increased, the country would not have to visit the International Monetary Fund for a bailout. He was speaking at the annual Ghana Oil and Gas Conference.
I am fully persuaded that if oil and gas should be permitted to run full throttle, Ghana will be something else. Drive the oil and gas industry in the country. How can you do such self-sabotage and think we can function well? I believe if we did serious matters with oil and gas, we won't go to IMF. I'm being educated that there is serious oil and gas in the Voltane Basin. That is what GNPC is surmising. And that undertaking, if we should ever get there, can surprise us so much. Probably we'll be going, maybe we'll not go to where Saudi Arabia is, but it is going to be a turnaround.
Chairman of the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament, Samuel Atachian there. Now, the European Union, the government of Ghana, and the Food and Agriculture Organization have launched a €10 million project to support 50,000 vulnerable people grappling with food insecurity in some parts of the northern region. This is to reaffirm the EU and UN solidarity to addressing global food security. Richard Razali is EU ambassador to Ghana.
In 2022, the European Union and its member states, in what we call the Team Europe approach, set aside €7.7 billion for food security across the globe, out of which €600 million specifically for food production, strengthen local food production system, and address humanitarian situation.
More on food, the Cocoa Value Addition Artisans Association of Ghana has commended the government for its transformative policy initiative aimed at providing cocoa beans to indigenous cocoa value addition and chocolate manufacturing enterprises. The following report has more.
According to the association, the decision by government to facilitate the direct supply of premium Ghana cocoa beans to its membership and other indigenous Ghanaian small-scale cocoa processing and manufacturing enterprises will empower stakeholders to produce high-quality cocoa-based products for the domestic and export markets. The group is of the view that this remarkable step will not only bolster the domestic cocoa value chain, but also promote economic growth, job creation, and also increase Ghana's share of the global cocoa and chocolate industry, valued at $130 billion.
A Business Desk report. Ride-hailing firm Uber is partnering enterprise insurance to drive financial inclusion in the informal sector. The partnership, which led to the unveiling of a new product known as Save and Save, will enable drivers on the Uber platform get enrolled onto an insurance package to earn them some benefits. Speaking to Joy Business at the launch, country manager of Uber Ghana, Marjorie Sanlaw, disclosed that this is one of the significant steps to increase insurance penetration in the country.
This is one of the greatest innovation that we've seen in the ride-hailing sector. There has never been such product. And I also want to say in the insurance sector, we needed to get specific approval from the NIC to see this product being born. It's also the first corner stop of our efforts to create a more inclusive and more financial inclusivity for our drivers. We believe they need to be acting part of this economy and being able to benefit to the same benefits of all.
Marjorie Sanlaw is the general manager of Uber Ghana. Now, businesses have been entreated to develop a strategy to ensure sustainability going forward. According to Global President of the Billionaire Conclave, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, corporate sustainability is key to building transgenerational wealth and strong organization. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of a 2-day fully residential VIP event on wealth creation.
It's all a function of the mind, because most of the time you find that most businesses do not transit the third generation. Most of the time, the first generation that starts a business is a pioneering and generating generation. So they pioneer, they do a lot of stuff to start the business. But by doing that, by the time they raise their children grow up with a maintenance mindset. Oh, let's maintain what daddy and mommy has done. Let's maintain the legacy of daddy and mommy. But you don't build sustainability with a survivor mentality, and you don't build sustainability with maintenance mentality. By the time we get to the third generation, they become an entitled mentality, and that's why it doesn't go beyond the third generation.
You're still listening to the Joy Business Report. She started on the side making sauces for friends and family. Now Priscilla Crosby Arthur can't keep up with the demand for her hot pepper sauce, Shito. Today on the Joy Business Van, they tell the story of MS Special Hot Pepper Sauce.
I used to prepare food for my husband to work all the time. And then this Shito business all came about when a colleague of my husband decided to ask me to be preparing this sauce for them. It never started as Shito, it was rather sauce.
Priscilla Crosby Arthur recounts the beginning of a side business. Yes, side business, because this was never meant to be one. Priscilla just enjoyed to cook, and she was fulfilled when others enjoyed her meals, especially her sauces. Upon some convincing, Priscilla decided to go commercial. So what's in MS Special Hot Pepper Sauce? I'm sure you're wondering.
The full story of Priscilla is at 1 p.m. on the Joy Business Live on the Joy News channel, and of course after the Joy Business Report at 1 p.m. here on Joy 99.7 FM. Quickly to the commodities update. Crude oil is still selling high at $93 a barrel this morning. Gold lost marginally to open trading at $1,930 an ounce. Cocoa, however, gained